America's Pop Culture Trivia Show.
Check it out.
America's Pop Culture Trivia Show. With Joe Parisi.
Welcome to episode 115 of America's Pop Culture Trivia Show. My name's Joe Parisi. I am your host and question writer. And over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to give you 3 fast-paced rounds of pop culture trivia. Each round has 7 questions with just 5 seconds between questions to think of the answers. So we fly through them really quick, and at the end of each round, I go back and tell you the answers to everything you were just asked. So it's easy for you to kind of keep score of how you are doing. As always, a major 80s and 90s slant to these questions because that is just what I am into. So I'm glad you guys are here. We're going to have some fun. Our first round today will be the music round. Round 2 will be movies of 1999. And round 3 will be a mixed round. So good luck. Now let's play.
Round 1.
Round 1 is the music round. Here we go. Question 1. This R&B singer released what would end up being her most successful single back in 2001. The song was called Hit 'Em Up Style, in parentheses, Oops. The song peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. What artist gave us Hit 'Em Up Style? Question 2. Supernova, Extraordinary, and Why Can't I were all singles from what alt-rock singer-songwriter? Question 3. The 1998 hit alternative rock song, You Get What You Give, was this band's first and most successful single from their only studio album, which was called Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. What band gave us You Get What You Give? Question 4. When love makes a sound, babe, a heart needs a second chance. What band gave us 1988's rock ballad, Second Chance? Question 5. Originally written for the soundtrack of the 1998 film City of Angels, the hit song Iris was later included on the band's album Dizzy Up the Girl. What band gave us the song Iris? Question 6. What band gave us the songs Boys Don't Cry and Friday I'm in Love? And question 7. PM Dawn had their first and only Billboard Hot 100 hit in 1991 with the song Set Adrift on Memory Bliss. The song mentions a famous actress in the lyrics. What actress do they mention? And that's it for round number 1. Let's see how you did. Time to check those answers. Question 1, possibly the hardest of all 7. This R&B singer released what would end up being her most successful single in 2001. The song was called Hit 'Em Up Style, in parentheses, Oops. The song peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. What artist gave us Hit 'Em Up Style? That was Blue Cantrell. Question 2. Supernova, Extraordinary, and Why Can't I were all singles from what alt-rock singer-songwriter? Liz Phair. Question 3. The 1998 hit alternative rock song You Get What You Give was this band's first and most successful single from their only studio album, which was called Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. What band gave us You Get What You Give? That is New Radicals. There was a Time magazine article where they interviewed The Edge, the lead guitarist of U2, and he was quoted as saying, You Get What You Give is the song he is most jealous of. He said, I really would love to have written that song. Isn't that incredible? Question 4. When love makes a sound, babe, a heart needs a second chance. What band gave us 1988's rock ballad, Second Chance? 38 Special. Question 5. Originally written for the soundtrack of the 1998 film City of Angels, the hit song Iris was later included on the band's album Dizzy Up the Girl. What band gave us the song Iris? That's Goo Goo Dolls. Question 6. What band gave us the songs Boys Don't Cry and Friday I'm in Love? That is The Cure. And final question, number 7. PM Dawn had their first and only Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit in 1991 with the song Set Adrift on Memory Bliss. The song mentions a famous actress in the lyrics. What actress do they mention? Christina Applegate. If I had to guess, I'd bet the guys from PM Dawn probably didn't end up making all that much money off of that hit song. The reason why is because there are so many samples used in that song, and you have to pay for those. So, of course, the main one, the obvious one, is the sample of the song True by Spandau Ballet. But they also use samples of the music from a song called Ashley's Roach Clip by the Soul Searchers, and then a sample of the Bob James version of Paul Simon's Take Me to the Mardi Gras. And the guy that wrote the Spandau Ballet True, Gary Kemp, he got a writing credit on PM Dawn's song out of this thing. So when you tally all that stuff up, for every dollar made, it was probably getting split up between 4 or 5 different parties, the record company being one of them. So even though that was a huge hit for PM Dawn, I think they probably got burned because of the way the song was structured.
Round 2.
For the movie round this week, we are looking specifically at the movies of 1999. Question 1. The World Is Not Enough hit theaters in November 1999. In that film, who starred as James Bond? Question 2. A 1999 biographical sports drama starring Denzel Washington as professional boxer Reuben Carter, a man wrongly convicted for a triple murder who spent nearly 20 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Name that film. Question 3. The second installment in the Austin Powers film franchise hit theaters in 1999. In the film, what famous actress played Felicity Shagwell? Question 4. In what Oscar-winning film from 1999 would you have found the following characters? Lester, Carol, and Jane Burnham, Ricky Fitz, and Angela Hayes. What film were these characters from? Question 5. A 1999 neo-noir thriller directed by Joel Schumacher and starring Nicolas Cage as a private investigator who delves into the world of snuff films. Also featured in the film are Joaquin Phoenix and James Gandolfini. Name the film. Question 6. Looking at the timeline of releases in the Star Wars film franchise. The first film released to theaters was Episode 4, A New Hope, which hit theaters in 1977. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, opened in 1980, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, hit theaters in 1983. The next film to hit theaters was Episode 1, which was released in 1999. What was that film called? And question 7. In what 1999 film did Shannon Elizabeth play the part of a Czechoslovakian foreign exchange student named Nadia? And that'll do it for round number 2. Let's see how well you did with the 1999 stuff. Question 1. The World Is Not Enough hit theaters in November of 99. In that film, who was it that starred as James Bond? Pierce Brosnan. That would be Pierce's third time starring as Bond on the big screen. He ended up doing a total of 4 between 95 and 2002. Question 2. A 1999 biographical sports drama starring Denzel Washington as professional boxer Reuben Carter, a man wrongly convicted for a triple murder who spent nearly 20 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Name the film. That was The Hurricane. Question 3. The second installment in the Austin Powers film franchise hit theaters in 1999. In the film, what famous actress played Felicity Shagwell? That is Heather Graham. Question 4. In what Oscar-winning film from 1999 would you have found the following characters? Lester, Carol, and Jane Burnham. Ricky Fitz and Angela Hayes. What film were these characters from? American Beauty. Question 5. A 1999 neo-noir thriller directed by Joel Schumacher and starring Nicolas Cage as a private investigator who delves into the world of snuff films. Also featured in the film are Joaquin Phoenix and James Gandolfini. Name that film. This movie is as creepy as it gets, but it's pretty darn entertaining. It is called 8mm. Question 6. Looking at the timeline of releases in the Star Wars film franchise, the first film released to theaters was called Episode 4, A New Hope. That hit theaters in 1977. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, opened in 1980. And Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, hit theaters in 83. The next film to hit theaters was Episode 1, which was released in 1999. That film was called what? The Phantom Menace. And question number 7, in what 1999 film did Shannon Elizabeth play the part of a Czechoslovakian foreign exchange student named Nadia? That's American Pie. So, personal opinion here. The foreign exchange student thing, I feel, is one of those things that is way more prevalent in high school movies than it is in actual high schools. I could be totally wrong about this, but in my life, I encountered one foreign exchange student. Think about it. What was it like for you? Did you encounter many of them in your high school years? Or are you kind of in the same boat as me where you've seen it more in movies and on television than in your own high school experience?
Round 3.
Your third and final round is a mixed round. Here we go. Question 1. On Cheers, actor Woody Harrelson played a character named Woody. On the show, what was Woody's last name? Question 2, and you have to be exact on this. On what home video game console did Sonic the Hedgehog debut? Question 3. Bo Jackson was one of the biggest sports stars of the late 80s and 90s, being one of only a few two-sport athletes, playing both professional baseball and professional football. In baseball, he played for the Royals, the White Sox, and the Angels. In the NFL, he only played for one team. What team was it? Question 4. From 1970 to 1988, he was the host of the American Top 40 radio program. Name the host. Question 5. Name the character on The Office that was played by actor Leslie David Baker. What character did Leslie David Baker play? Question 6. A stand-up comedy film called The Original Kings of Comedy was released in August of 2000. It featured footage of 4 different comics performing on the Kings of Comedy tour. Those 4 comics were Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and who? And question 7. In what film from 1988 would you have found a fast food restaurant called McDowell's and a soul singer named Randy Watson? What movie? And that's going to wrap up our third and final round. Let's check those last couple of questions. Here we go, guys. All right, question 1. On Cheers, actor Woody Harrelson played a character named Woody. On the show, what was Woody's last name? The answer is Boyd. Woody joined the cast of Cheers in season 4. Question 2. On what home video game console did Sonic the Hedgehog debut? Sega Genesis. So the Sega company held a company-wide contest to create a mascot to compete with Nintendo's Mario series. The winning submission was this blue hedgehog with big red shoes. Sonic would end up debuting in 1991 and became one of the best-selling video game franchises in history. You still come across Sonic stuff new to this day. Question 3. Bo Jackson was one of the biggest sports stars in the late 80s and 90s, being one of a few two-sport pro athletes, playing both professional baseball and professional football. In baseball, he played for the Royals, White Sox, and Angels. In the NFL, he only played for one team. What team was it? The LA Raiders. He would play 4 seasons for the Raiders from 1987 to 1990. Question 4. From 1970 to 1988, he was the host of the American Top 40 radio program. Name that host. That is Casey Kasem. Question 5. Name the character on The Office that was played by actor Leslie David Baker. Stanley. Leslie David Baker was Stanley Hudson. Question 6. A stand-up comedy film called The Original Kings of Comedy was released back in August of 2000. It featured footage of 4 different comics performing on the Kings of Comedy tour. Those 4 comics were Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and who? Bernie Mac. That was such a great special, and I felt like everybody I knew for a chunk of time there in 2000, 2001 was obsessed with that special. So funny. Final question, number 7. In what 1988 film would you have found a fast food restaurant called McDowell's and a soul singer named Randy Watson? That's Coming to America. Hope you guys enjoyed these last 20 minutes together and the questions for episode 115. My name is Joe Parisi. If you could, please leave the show a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. And hey, if you ever want to reach out, you can find me on social media. I'm on both TikTok and Instagram at Joe Parisi VO, Joe Parisi VO. And my website, which you can email me through, my business website is joeparisivoiceover.com. Thank you guys so much for listening, for hanging out, and for being there. I appreciate you. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.
America's Pop Culture Trivia Show with Joe Parisi.